Hello and welcome to my new course, Tarot for Beginners. I'm so excited about this course, I can't tell you, it's fantastic. I can't believe I'm doing these videos after so much writing. So today, for our very first training video, we're going to be talking about connecting with your deck. Now, for those of you who have done my very first free course called Connect with Your Deck, there won't be much new in here for you. This is just a little recap, perhaps for those of you who haven't done the course or would like a little bit of a refresher. And the main thing I'm going to be showing you in this video is how to interview your tarot deck. So why do we interview our tarot deck? To get the messages from the deck about what it is that we need to know from the deck. So it's a great way to connect with your cards. It's a great way to start to get a feeling of how you're going to handle your cards, what you need to know from them, whether you're going to be comfortable using them, whether they've got a nice fit. And so I think we might spin the camera around and have a little look at my Interview Your Deck spread, which I've put together for my workbook, which you can get in 3 different formats, a lovely book on Amazon, or you can buy a print-on-demand version, or you can get a GoodNotes version where you can save the trees and you don't have to print anything at all. So let's spin the camera around and have a look at my Interview Your Deck spread and how to connect with your deck. So we're going to start the course. This is our first training session, and it's a little bit of a recap on a whole training that I've done called Connect with Your Deck. It was the first little training course that I put out there when I first came online. I love making it. The videos are just, the quality of them is just appalling, but I've kept it there because everyone's loved it. It's a free course. Again, like this model, it has its own little book, and it's called connectwithyourdeck.com/course. And I'll put the link down in the description box for you. And you can do that course as well as this one. If you've already registered for this one, I'd recommend waiting and doing it after this one. You don't, look, I've got step 1, step 2, step 3, but you don't really have to do them in that order. Because otherwise you'll get too many emails and it'll be too much. I'd rather you do the courses one at a time and get as much as you can from them. And of course, all my courses are free, and I'm going to show you the learning materials that I've got that are optional to buy with the course. So this is the journal that comes with the course. I can just do that. See how old-fashioned I am, trying to put my codes in and things when I can just use my fingerprint. So this is the GoodNotes version of the journal. And if you've got an Apple Pencil, you can draw and write and do all sorts of things in here. And the groovy thing about this little journal is I've put hyperlinks in it. So if you want to go to the major arcana, you can do that. And then I've got worksheets for you and all sorts of things that we're going to go through. Pentacles are here. You can go up here and go to Myths and Facts. You can go to the Tree of Life. You can go to Symbolism down here, and you can see all the goodies that are in the journal. And today we're doing Connect with Your Deck, so you can go there. And then all the pages are here that we're going to go through today. You can see I've got a page on how to connect with your deck. I've got my tarot symbols I'm going to explain, the interview deck spread we're going to go over today, some dot grid page to draw and write on, and then some ideas to cleanse your deck, and then just some reflection questions. And look, I call it homework, and I really shouldn't because I know it's really triggering for some people, but it's just a little bit of an activity. I try to have tick boxes, things like that you can do just to consolidate your thinking. And of course, if you really want to be part of my community, you can register for the challenge, connectwithyourdeck.com/beginners. And you'll see that on each
title page here, and you'll receive an email with links into my Facebook community. But of course, if you don't want to play on the Facebook community, that's fine. You can study right here in YouTube and put comments on the bottom of the videos. I'm more than happy for that to happen. That's fine, because I know everybody has different thoughts about different parts of social media. And to be honest, Facebook is driving me mad at the moment, and I've got other videos that I'm going to share with you about all of that. So that is the GoodNotes version. Then there's the print-on-demand version, and this is in my Etsy shop. So the GoodNotes version's in my Etsy shop. If you register for the challenge, I send you all the info on how to find these journals, and it's also down in the description box. So this is the printed version that you just print on your printer. And of course, I've done it one-sided, haven't I? Because I was having a moment and I didn't want to waste the pages. But you can see here, it's the same thing. Takes you all the way through. That page should go in there. And then connect with your deck. And of course, I've tried to put all of the addresses because, of course, if you print it, you can't click. Connect with your deck. The tarot symbols, your interview deck spread, which I'm going to show you how to do, and that's it that I've printed. But for those of you who want to put your journal into your grimoire, you want to be able to file it, this is the version for you. So this is the print at home version. Then we've got the Amazon version. So I've put it into a book, and the reason I put it into a book is because I get requests all the time for people wanting me to print things for them, and I'm in Australia. By the time it gets to you, it'll be like Christmas. You know, it's just terrible. Postage is awful. Things go missing. By the time I charge you and put the tracking and everything else on it, it's a nightmare. So you can see here you've got your reflection page. All the pages are exactly the same, and they're printed in beautiful printed version for you in a book. And, you know, you just order it and then it arrives and it makes it nice and easy. What tarot deck would I recommend for you? Now, I have recommended this deck a lot. People say to me, not the Rider-Waite Smith again, please. But the reason I recommend it is because it's universal. It is everywhere. If you would like to support my work and you don't have a Rider-Waite Smith deck, or you want to have a look at some of the other decks that I've reviewed that are all in my Amazon store, you can purchase through my Amazon shop, and I receive a small commission, which helps support my channel. So there's the tarot size, and you can get a smaller size as well, and they're relatively inexpensive, and I think available almost in every country on earth, which is part of the other reason why we study this deck. And as we go through learning about the tarot and I start to talk to you about the history, you'll understand why this deck, I know it's dated, and I'm going to talk about that. I know it's dated, but, and particularly in terms of recognizing people of color, but it's, you know, it's really good not to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And I know that's really hard for some people to hear because of the gaps in this deck, but it does teach an enormous amount. And there is a deck. No, I haven't got it sitting here. Oh, why haven't I got it sitting here? It's called the Melanated Tarot. I've put it somewhere. Trust me. Oh, got it. This, and it basically takes the step of trying to recognize other people in the tarot. Beautiful deck, and I'm going to do a review on it, and I'm going to do it in my usual way where I have both cards and go through it. This is gorgeous, and there's another one that I've got. I think it's called the Modern Witches Tarot, and that also is very inclusive. So we are using this deck, and it is, having said all of that, it will teach you so much if you can just get past all the gaps in it. So, and those of you who are following my tarot symbolism series will know exactly what I am talking about. So I just wanted to show you how to do and interview your deck spread. And this is a great spread to start with if you're just starting to learn to read. The reason we interview our deck is to connect with it, to get a feeling for the sort of messages it might be going to give us, which of course will be individual to your particular situation. And it's great because you're reading the cards, starting to read your cards individually. And then eventually, as time goes on, we will bring the whole thing together and look at reading how you would read the cards together. And I've got a whole series on reading that's coming. If you're late to the party, it'll be up on my channel and you'll have a chance to watch all of those too. And I have got a really lovely book that I wrote ages ago on the Celtic Cross that takes you through a deep dive of the Celtic Cross and everything you could possibly want to know about it. It's a spread that's attributed to Arthur Waite, but he says it's much older than that. But it takes you through all of that. So I'll put a link to that as well in the description box so that you can go and have a look at that as well if you want to. However, having said that, the Tarot for Beginners journal starts you off on the Celtic Cross, and I'll show you in the back, in the reading section. You've got a whole lot on the Celtic Cross to get you started. Not everything, but enough to get you going. And we're going to do some trainings on that too. So, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, I know I keep saying it, but people forget to do it if I don't say it. Make sure that you do. All right, let's get started. So the first thing that you want to ask is you want to ask your deck a question. Now, in my Connect with Your Deck course, I go into quite a lot of detail about how to ask really effective questions of the tarot. So the interview your deck spread, your question could be something like, you want to have an open question. So you could ask something like, what is it that you will teach me? Or how will I receive the messages that you want to give me, or what is it that you're going to teach me, or something like that. So I think what is it that you will teach me is a nice question. So you write, what is it that you will teach me? Now, these pens, question mark. So nice open question. Whereas if you ask a closed question, it just restricts the tarot. We want to use the tarot to open up to spirit, to open up to our own unconscious self, to get the messages that we need to hear. Now these pens that I'm using are Rub Out pens by Frixxion. So if I get, what can I lean on? Oh, my journal, my bullet journal, which is a whole other video. I'm thinking of starting a lifestyle channel. If you think I should start a lifestyle channel and share all other bits and pieces about my life, put something down in the comments to let me know. So you can just do that. How good is that? And I've got these in my Amazon store as well. And of course, you don't have to buy from me. You don't have to buy from my Amazon store, but of course, if you do, it does help my channel because I get a little commission. So our day today is the 9th. So it's Tuesday. It's May. And it is the 9th, 2023. And the deck is Rider, Waite, Smith. Used to just be known as the Rider Waite, and we didn't even bother about Pamela Coleman Smith. And it's US Games. Now, of course, if you are using another sort of deck, and you can, if you're one of these people who've studied the Rider Waite until you're sick of it, and you want to use another deck to do my course, you can. Just record it there because it's handy to know. And then what we're going to do is we are going to draw some cards, and I'll show you how I would fill this in really briefly, because otherwise we'll be here all day. So I'm just giving a shuffle. What are you going to teach me? So we just pull the first card out. Oh, and we've got 8 of Wands. So how would I record 8 of Wands? I would draw a wand, because if I look down on my sheet here, which I always have with me because I never remember the symbols, you draw a wand and then you just put number 8. So we draw a wand like that and we put number 8. And you can either fill this out as you go and write. So what do we know about 8? We know 8 is about taking decisive action. So if I was going to think about what this might mean for me, I would say something like, I need to get on and do it and stop procrastinating. Take decisive action. Stop procrastinating. Get on and do it. Decisive action. And we know that this card can sometimes mean travel. So I would see this as reach out is probably how I would interpret it. I had a thought this morning that I want to actually do some interviews with some other tarot teachers, because I think that would be fabulous to do and hear their perspective on the tarot, because that's how we learn. We all look at it differently. And so I see that as do it and reach out. Reach out. All right. So next card. What is important to know about you? And this is, again, the deck. What is it important to know about the deck? Partnership. So the lovers, 2 of cups. What am I saying? 2 of cups here. So we draw a cup. And again, it's interesting, and we put a 2. It's interesting that I'm getting minor arcana cards, which are about everyday happenings and taking action. So there's a really strong message here about everyday actions, taking action. Can you see how I'm so easily recording this spread that if I wanted to go back to it in 6 months' time, I can just pull the cards out and see exactly what it was without having to write it out in longhand, all of that stuff. So what's important to know about you? Partnership, working together. This is a nice somebody on your side, So this is a deck that says, I'm on your side, I'm working with you, which is pretty true because I use Waite all the time, as you know, with my teaching. What would you like to know about me? I'm waiting for a major arcana card so I can show you how you do those. I'm not getting any. What would you like to know about me? 6 of cups. So again, we draw a cup and we draw a 6. So this is about your life history, your personal history. So it's about knowing the history of the deck. And learning from past experience. Learning from the past. So this is about, to me, understanding the background of the Rider-Waite-Smith, and maybe I need to do lots more on that. I've done a lot, but maybe the deck is saying to me, Elizabeth, you need to know more about me. And if you're using a modern deck and a card like this, see how I'm applying the meanings to the question? That's the key of reading the tarot, being able to do that, what Vincent Pitsky calls conceptual blending. All right, what type of readings do you like? So what kind of readings does this deck want to do? Let's pull another one. 8 of Cups, walking away from what doesn't serve you. So I would say readings that show people a clear pathway away from what's not helpful to them. So clear readings. That show clear emotional pathways away from what doesn't work for them. also, I'm not writing War and Peace. Now, if you want to write a lot, you can, and there is a dot grid page in this section of the journal that gives you a whole heap of space that if you really, and I know some of you absolutely love it, it turns into creative writing. It really helps you, particularly if you've got anxiety, it really helps you to get that slow, reflective space. Do it. I'm not telling you that you can't. Next card. My goodness, these cards. And look at all these cups. So there's something emotional about this deck for me. Something very emotional. We've got an 8 of Swords. And if you wanted to look at the numerology, of course you could as well. So we just draw a sword like that and an 8. What do I need to learn from you? And here, this is about recognizing that you're a prisoner of your own mind. You could just cast the bindings off, throw the blindfold off, and you might have some difficult waters, difficult emotional times to traverse. You won't be able to go backwards, but you'll be able to walk forward. So what do I need to learn? I need to learn perhaps not to be so closed-minded, to open my mind. Discover my unconscious. What's holding me back? And step forward without fear. Again, which links back, if you were reading this as a total spread, links back to stop procrastinating, get on with it. And I really wanted to have a major arcana card come out. It's not going to do it. So I'll just show you if one doesn't come out. What do I need? What do you need to do for your relationship to grow? So your relationship with your tarot deck. The Hermit. Here we go. Take time out to reflect inwardly about life, the universe, and everything. So I need to reflect on the deck. Take time out. And don't rush. So many people want to read tomorrow, me included. So taking time to really slow down and appreciate what you're learning, this process. The tarot is enormous. I'm only touching on the absolute edge of what you can know about the tarot. It's enormous. Now, this is where on here I've got symbols for all the major arcana cards. So we're going to look for the Hermit, which is number 9. Here we are. And we're just going to draw a little lantern, which looks like this. And a little box underneath with X's and then a little face like that. And that's the Hermit. And you know that from the symbols cheat sheet. So that's your interview, your deck spread. I hope that's helpful to you. That's your homework. If you've enjoyed it and found it helpful, please let me know in the comments. If it's not been something that you've ever done before and you don't think it's useful, tell me that too. Of course, I would love you to be part of my free Tarot Lovers community where we study the tarot together. Connectwithyourdeck.com/beginners is where you can join me. It's free. And of course, you can post your homework in our Facebook community. Take care, everybody, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.